Hello, beauties. Welcome to the Unfiltered Talk Show, the place where we serve up life, health, wellness, beauty, and a whole lot of fabulousness. I'm your host, Maria Antonieta, and today I've got the pleasure of hanging out with incredible Tatiana Islazak. Tatiana is a mentor, an energetic clearing practitioner, and the author of How to Get Out of the Fog book. Hello, Tatiana. I am so happy that today on my debut show, I'm here with you. So, Tatiana, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, I feel so honored. I was so excited when you asked me to come. The best thing ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's like I say that kidding, but it's kind of truth. You in the future of us, because you're so far away, so ahead of time. So you're in Australia, right?
Yes, so I am from the future. If you need lots of numbers or something, stock market, exchange, anything, I can give you all the details.
That's your superpower. So what is life like in Australia?
So it's down under, upside down, weather-wise, upside down. A bit seriously, I love life in Australia, but coming back from Poland, my biggest complaint is Australia is too far from my family. But generally, life here is interesting.
You're from Europe, Polish. And how long you been in Australia, far from home?
Believe it or not, it's been 14 years.
Wow. Has your system adapted well? Because it's a huge difference. The climate, the foods, not to mention accents and new language to learn. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
My system adapt. The great thing about Australia is I don't feel Polish in Australia. I can feel Australian in the sense that it's multiculti. People here are from all over the world. So that's the great thing. In Europe, it would be probably a bit different. If I go to Germany, then I would feel like Polish in Germany. However, here I just feel like a part of community. So in that sense, it was easy to adapt. Harder to adapt when it comes to starting my life all over. Nobody cared that I was a manager or whoever I was in Poland. We really had to start from the scratch. And I always say we didn't start from zero. We started from minus 100. So it took us a while to even get to zero, but the journey was worth it. Taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Christmas-wise is difficult because Christmas is always cold for me, and he is warm, and that's weird. Even after 14 years, I still really don't feel I see Santa Claus on the beach. It's so
And that's my norm, I'm from Brazil. So our Christmas is always summertime. Like New Year's party is always like light clothing, white, summer, jumping on the beach. And now I'm here like snowstorms and all of that. I always crave the warmth at the end of the year. So we're like total opposites.
So we should do the house swap for Christmas then.
We should. That'll be fun. Awesome. So I say that, life is full of blessings and lessons. To me, anything that is not a blessing is a lesson. Anything that is not a lesson, which is hard, pretty much everything is a lesson, then is a blessing. And going through life, I see that more clear again and again on everyday choices that I make, every people I meet, everyone I meet, and it's just so beautiful. And even some of the lessons today, I can see and appreciate them as blessings. So I imagine that writing this book is a big blessing, but is a collection of lessons. And I feel so honored to have had the pleasure of connecting with you and going through the book. And there was parts here that literally like spoke to me, like close to my heart, because the feelings, the emotions are very similar in some occasions. But then I also like the tips and suggestions that help you guide through some of those that can be some of the most difficult moments in someone's life. So talk to me a little bit about how to get out of the fog. First of all, the title. I love this title and the cover. It's so clever, so catchy, so beautiful. How to get out of the fog.
It was a funny story, and I see so many bookmarks. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I did my work here.
Oh wow, you really did. Oh, the title was supposed to be something different. There was supposed to be me on the cover, haha, and something like self-development, something, something. And thank you
Okay,
so
you
much.
were on the back of the cover,
Yes,
tiny, tiny little one.
I knew.
But yeah, I love it.
My friend told me I wouldn't like to see your face on my coffee table. So that's what made me think.
Ay, ay.
However, there is an incredible story to the title because just I will try to make it as short as possible. My
No,
husband is
please do tell. I love these little stories. Come on, give us the good stuff here.
my husband is a crazy bike rider, and we went
Okay.
um, out of Melbourne, and of course he had to go for his bike ride, and then he went up to the mountain, and then he called me. I am here in the mountain. There is such a fog. I can't get out. Someone is already had accident. There is full blood. I'm just scared to go. And I went like, oh, again, you go, and I have to rescue. I went. I took my kids. So we drove up to the mountain. And at some point, I had to stop my car because it was literally milk in front of my face. I put the windshield, right? You call it down.
Uh-huh.
I stick my head. I couldn't see even 2 centimeters. Nothing. I
Wow.
totally freaked out. I stopped the car. Said, I'm not going anywhere. I called my husband. I told him where we are, and the fog started to go down a little bit, and then there was a like the earthy area in the mountain, and my daughter and I, we can you see me because it was a cut like.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. We got frozen. So go back to the story as you put your head outside, you couldn't see two like centimeters in front of you.
Okay, so from here,
Sorry. Thank you for that.
I stick my head outside and I couldn't see even 1 meter in front of me. So I freaked out. I stopped the car. I called my husband. Lucky we had reception. I told him roughly where I am. And we stopped the car. We look around. We couldn't really see the forest, but there was a like really earthy gravel on the ground. And my daughter said, oh, this is nice thing to take some photos. Let's take some photos. So we started taking photos in the fog, right? And then my
Wow.
husband came, we packed up, the fog went down a little bit, we managed to go back. And then in my car, my daughter, 16-year-old daughter, said, how about the title of the book, How to Get Out of the Fog?
Wow, so clever.
And I went, Sebastian, I'm not angry at you anymore. I'm actually quite grateful because this whole adventure,
Wow.
it was the creation of the title from the book because he said, you were standing in this fog and it's like, that's how problems are. You are in the fog and then you get out from the fog. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So that was my
This is perfect.
16-year-old daughter. I'm so grateful. And again,
Wow,
with the
that's
cover, we started thinking, so how to show it, how not to show it
okay.
as a problem, how to show the face that actually it's a red lipstick, so I'm still alive, right? It's a
Right.
red lipstick. I'm okay, but I am in this fog. So then we saw the picture of some paintings. I can't remember the painter. That there was a face of the woman and it was blurry, and that started slowly became an inspiration. And then I thought I would like a bit of red, and that's how we came about. So that was my daughter. So
Wow, quite the artist.
yeah,
It's a whole family deal
it,
here.
it
It's
was the whole
wonderful. I
family,
love it.
but it was a good lesson for me as well. You get angry when something happens because I was upset. I had to wake up, I had to go and drive. It was
Oh.
his idea. Why do I have to pay the price? You know, I had this anger in me, so unnecessary. I don't know what happened here. I think because I said the word anger.
Your anger turned into something beautiful and
Oh my
festive.
God, this is my message. That's what I want to say. That okay,
Oh my
interesting.
goodness.
It was
There
very.
is magic happening here, Tatiana.
Oh my
Sorry,
God,
confused.
I'm a witch.
I'm so sorry.
But
We all
instead
are.
of thinking, okay, it's all right, things happen. I want to help him. Maybe we can just go to the mountain. I went like, this was a big lesson for me not to do it anymore. because something beautiful came up out of this. But at the beginning, I was angry and I lost lots of energy on it.
Right.
And now that was also a good lesson for me. I often remember this when he asked me for help again, or anything, that is it really a reason to get so emotional? Like, what's the big deal? And actually, those things can lead you to beautiful experience, like creating the title for the book that changed
Right.
completely the whole idea.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So again, life is full of blessings and lessons, right? A lesson for him, a blessing for you, and a lesson at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's I love the fact that your daughter, you're such a young person already with that vision of how life mimic art and the other way around as well, right? That's beautiful. So the book is full of examples of, I think, moments when you were in the fog. Can you tell us like one of those moments and what was like, and how was for you to go back into those moments emotionally, internally, and put it into words? Because that can be easy. That must be like hot therapy kind of, because you have to go back into moments and you feel all of that again, right? Emotions. It's like totally running through your veins again. So what it was like?
Funny, someone recently asked me this question, that wasn't it hard for you to write about those things? But funny enough, when I think about this when I was writing, I didn't feel sad. I felt so grateful. I felt so grateful that I did it, that I went through it, I've learned from it. So that was the first feeling. But the next thing that really helped me writing it, I wasn't thinking about myself. My message was, I'm really opening myself here, even with about my food addiction. That would be embarrassing maybe a few years ago, 2 years or 3 years ago, to write about. But I thought maybe it could help someone. So I didn't make it about me. When I was writing, I wasn't thinking that's about me. I'm opening myself. People will see me. I thought, no, it's about you. It's about other people. And that's why it wasn't hard, because I had this in the back of my head, that it's not about me, it's about you. It's about the person who's going to read it, because maybe that could help them. That's why it wasn't hard. But when I reflect on that, mm, I felt I couldn't believe that I did some things that I did, and I felt really grateful. The breaking point for me was when I had to admit to someone that I have no money on the account. And when she was buying stuff for her kids, coffee and things, and I couldn't. And I was saying, no, my kids are full, or I don't feel like coffee. And eventually I told her the truth. There's a big story about this in a book.
Right, right. I
Funny
remember
enough,
reading it.
funny enough, I didn't keep in touch. I don't keep in touch with this woman. But once she found out that I wrote the book, she called me crying. She said, do you remember this situation? I can't believe you wrote the book. And she didn't even know that I wrote about her, but it was a breaking point for me. I said, I will never be in a situation again that I have literally no money on my account. And ever since, never happened.
Wow. That's powerful. I remember reading that on the book, and when I was reading, it was on my lunch break. So I usually take my books on my breaks with me. And here I am having an abundance of food on my plate. I was a kid, and my mom didn't have money to buy us stuff outside the house, or even, it was hard. And then I remember coming to the United States and points that I didn't have money to buy a cookie. And somehow I put all of those things all the way in the back burner and I forgot about it because it's been so long. But then reading the book brought back those emotions and it was beautiful. But then there's so much here. It's like I'm really, really, really happy that you agreed to come to this chat with me, because I really think this is not only a great book, it's a huge lesson and is a beautiful gift for Christmas. how many people could benefit from this? Like, so beauties, this is a little message for you and for you, whoever's watching here. If you're in a tight budget, especially books are always a great gift. And if you know anyone who's struggled, if you know anyone who could use that little bit of, you know, fire on their soul, here it is. This is a beautiful book to give as a gift. There's so much here. This is a bottle of emotions. It's delicious to read it. I love it. I really love it. Thank you for sharing that story again, and with us. So after that time, what was your first step? You said that's it. That was the, you know, the moment. And then how did you get on your feet? How, what changed it in you, in your mind? What made you to want it to make a change?
So I was before already in self-development area, and I still am, and I'll never finish. But I realize, oh, just I want to clarify one thing. We had food at home from supermarket, but we couldn't
Oh, I
afford
bet.
the
Right,
food
right, right,
from
right.
outside. So wasn't, yeah, but that
It
moment,
wasn't to the extreme.
it wasn't to the extreme. It wasn't to the extreme, but
Right.
I must say that I was really lucky. If I just could go back for a second, with people around me were amazing, because the way she handled it, it was like, okay, so what do you want? Okay, Kaya, what do you want? Nadia, what do you want? Would you like that? And it just like there was
So
no.
sweet.
She she handled it beautifully, beautifully.
Mhm.
Yeah. She didn't feel sorry
So
for me. She
sweet.
said, I'm sure you will be fine. You will figure it out. But now, da 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 da.
Wow.
I realized I have a very poor mindset. That was the first thing. And also, I started looking at my life at the bigger picture. I said, that's fine. I actually decided as well to be with my child because my daughter was just born, to be with the small child at home. So practical. I'm extremely practical. It's just practicality is my thing. So I call it practical philosophy. So
Mhm.
changing my mindset, but also not in the sense go to retreat and then feel amazing and then you come home and again your life sucks. Really practically, how can I translate change of my mind to reality? So I started simple things like journaling, what I'm grateful for, because I believe that you attract more things to your life. If you, here you go, I said something profound.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I love this app. This is amazing. Like I feel like a superstar.
Right? You are a superstar.
And then notice those little blessings. Like even in this situation, I still had food at home. I had an amazing friend who helped me. I have an amazing friend who I can ask for help. My kids are healthy. I'm healthy. I have strength. What can I do to make maybe extra money on the side? So really practical things. But I realize that I'm thinking about myself. I'm poor. I'm poor. I'm poor. So that was the first thing I picked up. I said, you need to change your mindset. So I dive into self-development books, Abraham Hicks, all sorts of stuff. Came back to Louise Hay, and I remember my mom listened Louise Hay when I was in high school
Mhm.
on cassettes.
I love that. I love her.
Yeah. So I said I need to start changing things here first, and then slowly, slowly things started to pick up. I believe I opened myself for it, but I started looking for practical solutions. What can I do to have some extra money and like that? But I realized everything first, I need to work on my head, because if I look for the job, extra job, but people will notice that I come from desperation, I may push it off. So that's how the journey started. So that was my breaking point.
Hmm.
Does it make sense?
Very interesting. Yeah, it does make sense to me. Mindset is everything, right? In where you put your energy to, that's going to appreciate. So the more you focus on anything, including pain, the pain gets worse. So it's always good to be very aware and be being very present as you mentioned, at that moment was a difficult situation in your life, but you guys are safe. You had a roof over your head, you had food at home, everyone was okay. That's being present and changing the whole situation around. Because if you start seeing yourself as poor, as a victim, and as then you become, right, change your thoughts, change your life. And I love that, so thank you so much. So then is when you started working with energy, or not yet? You were
Oh,
just
no,
doing
no.
self research and
More self-research. I was in energy field, extremely
okay,
interested, but it wasn't my job.
got it.
Yeah. Shortly after my daughter got older, I was able, and I find the job that I could. I went to studying, so I started studying in Australia with little baby, and I started teaching English as a second language. So that was
Okay.
for migrants. My energy work started fully when pandemic started,
Oh wow.
because I was into bioresonance and energy clearing long time before I started it. However, and I
Okay.
felt at some point I will do it. However, at this point I was quite comfortable in my job, and there was never
Mhm.
good time. It wasn't okay. I mean, it was okay. And when things are okay, this is not the good moment to change things, at least with me. I don't change anything
It's
if it's
comfortable,
okay.
right?
You don't need to be happy, but it's okay, right?
Right.
So again, I needed something to push me.
Okay.
And it was our famous disease. I had the moment, and I told my husband, that's it. Because we don't know
It
what's
just
going to
came
happen.
to you.
Yeah, it just came to me. I had the feeling that life in Melbourne is going to be hard, and it was. For 2 years, we were
Wow.
basically
Intuition.
locked. And I said, I
Mhm.
feel that things are going to change. I'm going to do bioresonance and energy work from now on. And
Okay.
and he said, fine. So that's how it started. Because I already knew a lot about that, it wasn't that hard. I did the course, I got my accreditation, and shortly after I started my business on the side, and then I moved to it. So again, people say, and I still believe it was a really uneasy time, but I tell my clients, we wouldn't be together now, and we wouldn't be together talking
Right.
if not the time.
Right. I love that. So you're very intuitive and very present with yourself. So, okay, I am familiar with the work that you do, but if you don't mind, can you explain in detail for the listeners and people who are not familiar with that type of work? And I'm sure by now everyone is curious, like, how do you clear energy? How
Yeah.
does that work? What's the one session like, and how many sessions are needed? And yeah, if you can just walk us through that process.
So I do two types of energy clearing. First thing is called bioresonance, that most of the time I have clients coming in person. And this is where they have some physical or mental difficulties and problems. I have the machine that adjusting frequency on a really deep cellular level in a body. People lay down
Okay.
on a mat and I'm adjusting the frequency. That's one thing. But I had in the back of my head that there's really limited, people need to, most of the time, they come and see me in person. But what can I
Right.
do for people who cannot see me in person? And I discovered and finally took the course and started working on it, method called body codes, which basically,
Wow.
but this is a bit different. We work together online at the same time, and we need to have intention for the session. Let's say you
Mhm.
say, Tatiana, I do everything I can but my business is not picking up. But I know I do everything correctly. I do, and my Instagram is beautiful. I had that. I had my father lost some businesses, and I couldn't start my business. Like things, I felt block, right?
Oh, I
Yeah, I
know a
felt
lot of people feel that
block.
way.
Yeah, and then I'm using something called biosensor. I have here the chart. We connect biofield together, and I go and check if there is something in your karma, or there is something from previous life, or there is something that you, in the previous life, in the sense, you took it from your parents or from grandparents, but it's not yours. So there could be emotions in your body, in your heart, or in your tummy, or in your head that you took from your, for example, failure. Often comes up with people, failure. And look, turns out that father was losing businesses like it was in my situation. So then by touching here the main meridian and saying special formula, we're getting rid of things that are not yours, and we're clearing the space in your body, because body stores so much, stores all the messages, everything. You know that when you were in womb, in your mommy's tummy, you already had your future children there
Yeah,
in the
no,
cells of
I
eggs,
believe that.
biologically. So energetically, you can take things from
You
from
absorb
your
everything.
from your parents. And then let's say you go to the ocean and you're scared of the water. You don't know why, because this is the first time you see it. You don't even want to go to the water. And then you find out that generations back, someone actually drowned. And you may or may not. So they could be siblings, and some siblings may have it, some siblings may not. And this is a beautiful, gorgeous process that I do with my clients on one-to-one online sessions if they cannot do it in person. And I called it energetic clearing, because I added also some of my twists to it,
Right.
based on my previous work with bioresonance. And
Right.
people come back to themselves, to who they really are, without those loads from their ancestors or from other situations, or they were in current life, they might be could have been in the past in an abusive relationship, and the fear is still there, and it's blocking
Wow.
from reaching full potential. Looks like I'm telling
That's
the truth.
right. The system agrees with you. That is so powerful, Tatiana, and no side
Yes.
effects. That's the best part. No
So
medications, no
someone
side
helped me
effects.
a lot with my business when it comes to that. And now I would like to help people with their lives or with their businesses or wherever they feel something is not right. Like, yeah, to clear
How
it
many
out.
sessions usually take?
So generally it should take one session unless it's a huge trauma. So then maybe 2 or 3, but we go to the one topic. So I don't do like I clear all of you, because then, and it's like peeling onion. So, but there shouldn't be more than 3 sessions on one particular topic unless trauma is huge, huge, huge.
Right.
What I love
And
about this, sorry, I interrupted.
no, no,
What I
go
love
ahead.
about this is when I love psychology, and I did counseling courses as well. But sometimes I think it's digging too much into your past. And here is more, we tackle the problem and we release it, instead of feel again how it was, and you go through this horrible experience again if it happened in your life.
Right.
So what I like, it's okay, that's the problem. Looks like it is. Let's release it. So it's faster
Right.
and not that painful.
And it's a great match for you. Like you said, you're a very practical person. That's a very practical
Yes.
therapist. I love that, because removing all these blockages that we either come to this life with or we create them. Because ever since we're little, we're being absorbing information, and a lot of information that we absorb is not even ours, right? We keep listening to all the repetitions that happen to adults when we're kids. We see people doing things that hurt them emotionally or physically, and we start absorbing that information, that energy, and those, as we grow, it creates blockages in us. So I love that. So before we go too far and forget, please, please, please let them know how they can contact you, where, how long it takes to set up a session, and all the details you'd like to share. But I am going to leave a link here below, so just in case, but please tell us where they can find you, how they can set up a session, and all the deets.
Beautiful. Yes, so my website, my main website is Tatiana Slezak, SLEZAK.com. And also you can go through /energetic clearing. However, on the main website, there in the menu, it can put you into energetic clearing sessions as well. And there is an option to book the session from there. If the time doesn't suit exactly, because people are from all over the world, we can always discuss the time. My book is available on Amazon at this point. For Australians, soon will be available also from my website, How to Get Out of the Fog. That's the website. It melts my heart every time I see you holding that book.
I love it. No, I do love it. And this book will be someone very dear to me, to my heart. It's going to be her Christmas gift. I know someone who really could use this, and I believe it's going to give her a huge jump, like on her spirits. Like, you know, she needs that little push. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. So look how funny. I opened the book in one of my favorite pages here. One of, because there are many. So it's towards a little more than half of the book, but you busting the myth. Self-love is narcissistic. Ay, ay, ay. That hurts my soul every time I meet someone who thinks that or feel guilty taking, the time for self-love. Come on. I don't want to read the book. I don't want to give it too much, but why you decided to write about this subject? How important is this?
Because we often think, I say we, but I think as human beings, self-love looks like something selfish or narcissistic for people. But first of all, narcissism hurts other people. When you have self-love, you don't hurt other people. Right. Self-love, I think it's being selfish if you don't do self-love. Because what kind of mother would I be if I'm not strong enough? If I don't love myself, then I'm not strong enough to take care of my kids. So I think it's quite opposite. It's selfish if you don't do it. That's it. Straight to the point. And I love the example. I'm very practical. At the end of the book, there are some exercises, bang, 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 bang. Not yada, yada, and then you go back to your life. I love this example.
You love what?
I love the example that many people put, and with the airplane, you take the mask first on yourself before you give it to your kid. So absolutely, narcissism is when people hurt other people. That's how I see that. Self-love, when you have self-love, you don't hurt other people. You have more love and strength to give to other people. If you don't have self-love, at least start liking yourself. You are the closest one. And also there is another thing, very practical. When I started working with bioresonance, with the frequency adjusting machine, I've noticed how language that people use towards themselves is hurting their internal organs. You can get sick. It's not da 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 da, oh, I love myself. You can get sick if you keep telling yourself mean stuff, if you're not good to yourself, because that's energy. This energy needs to be stored somewhere. And one day you wake up, I have such a huge problems with my intestine. I don't know. I just do everything as I used to do for years, but you keep putting this neck, and you are the closest one to yourself, right? That's energy, and it's being stored in your tummy, drop by drop, and then all of a sudden, kaboom, something happens with your
Yeah.
health. So it's not only yada yada, I feel good. That's about your physical health as well. That's a quite serious issue, because I
Yes.
see how my machine is changing when people say, I'm such an idiot. Because before I
So
knew, oh, you
harmful, right?
shouldn't say that about yourself,
Yeah.
but this is no joke. You can really get sick, and there will be no use of you for your loved ones. I hope now I convinced someone to start.
I
Uh,
bet you did. That is powerful. Words can be food for your soul or poison for your soul. And
Huge
it's very
poison.
sad. The language today, I hear that a lot as well. And sometimes I have to break that space in between and say, you shouldn't. Don't do that anymore. It harms you more than you think. And then they don't know. A lot of people complain that life is just, going down. And I keep saying life keeps getting better. Like there is no fear. Like as you age, life gets better. And I truly believe that. And part of that is the words, is words of affirmation, but not just words of affirmation as an exercise. It's your whole day. You have so many choices and time throughout the day where you can give yourself some love, where you can give appreciation or gratitude to others and to you. Anything you do to others, you're doing to you in double. So it's the beauty of being human is that we're like powerful beings, and it always starts here. Language is here, food enters here, everything. This is a very, very powerful, special part of us. This book is truly beautiful, Tatiana. Now, if you can, gratitude. Another of my favorite topics is gratitude. My goodness, if I could only tell the stories of how many times in life my life shifted from 180 degrees due to gratitude. It's powerful. But you tell us now, what is your experience with gratitude? Not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, gratitude is like a magnet that brings you more things to be grateful for, and you notice more things to be grateful for. Like the situation we talk with my friend, realizing, because I could be crying, oh, I'm so poor and terrible situation, and I don't want to be here, and I miss my family, and I had lots of reasons to complain, and we all have lots of reasons to complain on everyday basis. And I'm
Yes.
also not into living in la la land and pretending those things don't happen, because if you see
Yeah.
something is wrong, then you can change it. So this is where acceptance comes to. I don't live like a fairy thinking everything is amazing, because there are still lots of things I want to change in me, in
Mm.
my life. So I see them as well. However, gratitude is such a huge magnet for bringing, and for me very much starting point for bringing more positive or things that will fulfill you more in your life. Because unless the situation is really really bad, most of the people, they have roof over their heads, and many people really don't. Many people really, they don't.
Right.
And starting with small things like that, or I'm 47 now, that's a huge privilege to wake up every morning. Because the older
You
I
look
get.
so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. You're doing many things right. And that's the way you look is just the side effect of how you live in your life. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Oh, no, no, please. Such a nice word. Why not? Just to stop and see those things. When I was a young girl, I used to work with physically disabled children. And
you.
I remember this vividly. I would look at the mirror, and I was a university then. I just wanted to work with those kids. And I look in the mirror and I said, Tatiana, your legs are so fat. You're so fat, blah, blah, blah. And I went for a walk with this boy, and all of a sudden, this boy said, Tatiana, I'm so jealous you have legs. It was on the same day. And I went, and ever since, I've never complained about my legs. This was a long, long time ago, really wake up call for me that we take things for granted. We go, I have cellulite, this and that. Wonderful. You see, you have cellulite, you don't like it. Let's work on it, right? But this is not the end of the world. But you have bloody legs. You are really lucky. And then when you see things like that, you bring more things to your life. Your energy changes, your energy shifting. You attract like magnet more things to be grateful for. And then that's the starting point to bring more things to your life, because that's how universe works. Okay, she's grateful for that. I'll bring her more things to be grateful for. And I don't know how it works. We can just see universe, from this little hole, but that's how it works.
Tatiana, I love this. I wish we had like more time to talk, but our time is coming to an end. But again, I'm going to tell you, lovely ladies and lovely people, anyone who's watching, here's the book for you or for your loved one or for anyone that you know that could use a little spark on their soul this winter, this Christmas, or not winter for you, but for us here. This is a beautiful gift. It's a gift that keep gifting. We love it. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Let's again go about where they can find you, how they can.
Oh, my Instagram is I am Tatiana Slezak, Slezak, and that's the easiest way to message me, most likely.
Okay.
And my website, tatianaslezak.com, and there is also an option to in menu. That's right. You'll see energetic clearing. This is where you can book the session, or you can contact me and ask me questions you have. And also, I would love to hear, if you get the book, I would love to hear your thoughts. That would be amazing, because that's why I wrote it. And I didn't expect such a feedback, and it melts my heart, really. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. It's beautiful. Can everyone find this on Amazon?
Oh, yes. On Amazon, if you put How to Get Out of the Fog, Tatiana Slezak, there is a hard copy, soft copy, and ebook version. However, I'm working on audiobook as well. So I'm in the process of finding right person to read this book for us, because I know that people like audiobooks. So I keep getting this question. So it will come. It will come.
Beautiful. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you for writing the book. Thank you for making yourself presence today and so open and honest in here and out there. And this conversation was such a gift to me, and forever is going to mean a lot. So I'm hoping to see you again soon. And
I hope so too.
All right, so let's stay in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.